A teddy bear story, the story of a gift which keeps giving. And as all good stories start, once upon a time, in the very pretty city of Naples, Florida, there was a beautiful stand of pine trees. Now nestled protectively in this very quiet grove is the Teddy Bear Museum of Naples, Florida. A family of bears play by the museum's entrance, which is just off exit 16 of I-75. Sculpted from 10 tons of white Florida limestone, this sculpture sets the unique tone for the one-of-a-kind museum. Our first stop is the museum's theater. The lights are dim because a video tour is just about to start for us. But first, let's turn up the lights to take a look at this poster on the wall, which proves that all creatures large and small need teddy bear cuddling, even cats. Maybe even jellicoe cats. You'll be sitting in an air-conditioned theater where they hold monthly bear-making classes, meet visiting artists, and have storytelling sessions. Our teddy bear friend has signaled to turn off the lights, so you'd better get into your seat. It's magic time, teddy bear magic time. The Board of Directors, a somewhat stuffy group, has arranged this video tour to circle the museum from the left to the right, beginning with the Florida artist bears. Florida artists live in all parts of the state, from Tallahassee, the state's capital, in the north, down to the Florida Keys in the south, and from the Gulf of Mexico on the west to the Atlantic on the east. Artists come from all walks of life. In fact, this teddy bear in the black hat, a KS original, was created by a school principal. Teddy bears have their own unique personalities, like Critters by Jean. The little bear maid, like a mermaid, is from the Keys in South Florida, whereas a young lady bear, Curly Shirley in polka dots, comes from Tallahassee in the north, and she is a Lone Bruin original. There are generally 4 categories of teddy bears in the Naples Teddy Bear Museum: antique bears, manufacturer bears, handmade and dresser bears, and artist bears. 2,500 teddy bears call this cottage in the woods home. 400 artists of the 1,200 worldwide are also represented here. Let's look at some more artist bears. Imagine, this all started with a gift of a small teddy bear from a grandchild to his grandmother, the philanthropist Frances Pugh Hayes. When her teddy bear family grew to 1,500, she built them an air-conditioned cedarwood 8,000-foot cottage, which opened in December of 1990. Managing Director George B. Black Jr. called Brownie by the Teddy Bears is helped by Ann Trueblood, a great office staff, and many volunteers. Brownie's immediate goal is the health and feeding of the teddy bears. With his accounting background and MBA from Chester, Pennsylvania's Widener University, Brownie's long-term goal is to have the museum's computer banks be one of the worldwide storehouses of teddy bear lore, history, manufacturers past and present, artists, conventions, and articles to chronicle the impact of teddy bears on our society. The Teddy Bear Museum is the only museum of its kind in the United States. It is a non-profit organization and welcomes donations and gifts of any kind. A first-of-its-kind teddy bear exhibition in New York in 1987 made the public more aware of the teddy bear as an art form of soft sculpture when an artist bear sold for $1,500. Charlie Chaplin by Beverly White is the first in a celebrity series which includes Laurel and Hardy and W.C. Fields. Miss Liberty nearby upholds the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of honey. The uniforms on these Civil War veterans are authentic reproductions right down to the last button. They are the work of the Nett family, Mother Margaret and son Gary. Look at Benjamin Franklin listening in. Mary Poppins has her umbrella up and is ready to either fly up, up and away, or maybe to protect Neville coming around here, the little matchmaker, from getting his matches wet from the rain. That would be a very, very bad situation for Neville. Gloria Franks of Teddy Toddlers named her bear Kenneth Scott after her son. And every time I see Kenneth, I get the feeling everyone in the neighborhood knew when Ken was around. Guess why? Rusty the teddy bear was given to Russell as a joke birthday gift. Russell then joined the Marines and took Rusty with him. Marines Company B Barracks adopted Rusty the teddy bear as their mascot. Well, each night Russell would play his harmonica to Rusty and the other Marines. One night Russell did not return from maneuvers. Silence in Company B Barracks. Marines dressed and sent Rusty home safely, knowing that teddy bears never forget. And with Rusty here at the Teddy Bear Museum, Russell will live forever in our memories. Artists dressed their teddy bears using ideas gathered from trunks in the attics, from flea markets, sewing their own outfits, or in the actual clothes like these two from special events, such as christenings. Colonel Teddy Roosevelt, shown here leading the charge up San Juan Hill, later became our 26th president. He was an environmentalist and a true sportsman. As the story goes, once on a bear hunt, he refused to shoot a bear tied to a tree for an easy kill. Well, newspapers picked up the story. A Rose Mitchum then made a stuffed bear, placed it in her storefront window in New York with the name Teddy beside it, alongside Clifford Berryman's famous cartoon of the non-shooting. Orders for the bear poured in, and Teddy Bear was born. Rose and Morris Mitchum then formed the Ideal Toy Company, as the story goes. Artophiles, bear friends, bring bears to the museum from all over the world. This underlines Brownie's goal to make the Teddy Bear Museum of Naples one of the centers for teddy bear information worldwide. You know, teddy bears are not only lovable, they are patriotic. More teddy bears have been stuffed in more sea bags, up in airplanes, down in submarines, and in barracks lockers than any other soft toy. Teddy bears care, and they're very, very loyal. The Teddy Bear Museum in Naples is a 3-hour drive from Sarasota, Florida, at one time home of the Ringling Brothers Circus and their famous clown school. Well, the board of directors decided to start their own clown school at the museum. All teddy bears pass. Note this clock and how our bears in the museum enjoy creature comforts. No bear caves here. In winter, teddy bears set this clock for a few months ahead, turn up the fire, and off to a deep, deep sleep. Meanwhile, the Larctos maritimus, polar bears to the other teddy bears, have the time of their lives slipping and sliding on the ice. Polar bear colors range from white to yellow. They're big. They sometimes reach 11 feet in length. However, the Kodiak bear found in Alaska in 1895 is a giant, weighs up to 1,600 pounds. Barnett Bank started in Florida back in 1877 and has over 600 offices in Florida and Georgia and is a beehive of activity. This attracted the teddy bears, especially the beehive. The Teddy Bear Museum's board of directors felt the museum should also have their own bank, a Barnett Bank, and like Barnett, very community-oriented. You know, there is nothing like a parade to bring out teddy bears, especially if you can see Miss America. Now, this is the first time one of the band members has appeared in public. He is so nervous, he's shaking. Can you spot him and Miss America? I'm going to get us some ice-cold lemonade. You enjoy the parade till I get back. After the parade, all the teddy bears take their honey and head for a good old-fashioned picnic in the park.
If you go down in the woods today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go down in the woods today, you'd better go in disguise. For every bear that ever there was will gather there for certain, because today's the day that teddy bears have their picnic.
This wedding gown took 4 months to sew, but was really worth it. All the teddy bears say the museum wedding was simply beautiful.
I'll be yours to love and care, always for you.
Teddy bear manufacturers are worldwide, some in existence from the late 1800s and early 1900s. Let's talk about some of them. North American Bear Company was founded by Barbara Eisenberg in 1978. Very important bears like Amelia Earhart, or Bear Ruth, or Bear Mitzvah. Manufacturers have different styles. Some are traditional. Most teddy bears are jointed. Some are all stuffed. Some are famous personalities, or they have a family series like North American's Vander Bear series with Cornelius and Alice, two brothers Fluffy and Fuzzy, and wonderful little Muffy. Always, always dressed for any occasion, like the upper right, dressed for a big safari. The House of Nisbet originally started by making prestige dolls but expanded to teddy bears back in 1975. Their famous line includes Bully Bears and their cousins, the Zodiac Bears, and many others. Dakin started in 1955 in San Francisco. Dr. Teddy, MD, does bear calls in the museum, no charge. Gebruder Hermann is still a family business. It was started by Johann Hermann in 1907 in a small German town. Brownie said it's a wonderful family with great bears. Merrythought started making teddies in England back in the 30s. Cheeky is their most popular. The Highlander and Beef Eater also come in king size. We'll see them a little later on. The famous Canterbury Bear is distributed in North America by Gund. Gund started making teddy bears back in 1906, and Snuffles is my favorite Gund teddy bear. Now, we'll go into more detail on Gund and, of course, Steiff a little later on. There are so many manufacturers like Applause, Russ Berry, Trudy, Barely There, Dean's, Caltoy Ink, Berry Patch, Rosenbear. As the famous bear once said, so many teddy bears to love, so little time. His name was Barrymore, of course. This limited edition bear clock was donated to the museum. It's made of wood from Germany's Black Forest, home of many folk tales, some of them quite grim. And right across the aisle is the House of the Three Bears. You know, children love to play in here. However, adults have to stoop to enter. And I think this makes the children and the teddy bears especially happy. There's a special case of antique, well-hugged bears. Bears donated to the museum with memory pictures. Now, these two boys are now men approaching their 60s, but in this time capsule, I like to think, with their teddies, they're always young. Brownie says that old bears have earned a special place in the museum. The oldest bear here, on the lower right, is from 1903. The smallest bear in the museum is 1 inch. It's a regular jointed teddy bear. These giant 6 feet teddy bears are in authentic condition and costume, the Highlander and Beef Eater. This is Jim Owensby, who will live forever in the organization he founded back in 1969 called the Good Bears of the World. Along with other groups like Telephone Pioneers of America or Hug-A-Bear, they give bears to children and seniors in nursing homes, to children in traffic accidents, in trauma. It's been proven that the anxiety level drops dramatically when a child under stress cuddles a teddy bear. And they come in all sizes, with crutches, with heart conditions, or even if they have ear problems. The Zodiac Bears by the House of Nisbet are country cousins to the Bully Bears. They live in the little town of Little Ticking in England, and they all celebrate their birthdays on the very same day every year with a party. They all make special things for the picnic. See if you can identify the teddy bears. There's Doris, Virgo. She makes a barrel of honey for the picnic. There's Plummy, Libra, a fortune teller. Bella Plush, Scorpio, a once famous Hollywood teddy bear actress. She auctions off her old clothes to help abused bears. Saxon Sagittarius, the archer, thinks he's Robin Hood. Bruin, Capricorn, the goat, well, he's the most reliable. Tunbridge, born under the sign of Aquarius, the water carrier, supplies water to the picnic. Beatty, Pisces, the fish, will always have a fishing game. Polly Hester, Leo or Lioness, is very, very bossy. And Nipper, born under the sign of Cancer, he never gets involved in the picnic. But of all the Zodiac Bears, I think my favorite is Julius, Aries the ram. Julius is the main bear in the museum. He's the organizer in the Teddy Bear Museum here. In fact, they call him Wilbur here. The Teddy Bear Museum has a wonderful library, and parents are delighted to see their children search for books, to find them, and sit down and read them. Francis Pugh Hayes wants the teddy bears, the children, and the adults to feel at home in the museum. On one of her many, many visits to the museum to see her teddy bears, Mrs. Hayes mentioned one of her biggest thrills.
Well, I think my greatest thrill is seeing the fact that I am not only affecting children with this, but I'm affecting older people. And if I can bring a little bit of hope and happiness to somebody, that's what we're all about in this world.
Looking up at the balloon, you'll see that the library is suffused with natural light coming through those skylights directly over the reading area. This bookcase contains famous children's books like Goldilocks and the Three Bears and many others. Teddy Roosevelt always seems to have a very mischievous glint in his teddy bear eyes. Arthur Seymour Eaton is credited with popularizing in print Teddy Bear through his book Roosevelt Bears, Teddy B and Teddy G. His bears were actually giant Bruins from Colorado. Well, we have two final exhibits, Gund and Steiff. The Gund exhibit is a museum favorite. Adolf Gund came to America back in 1898 and trained a 14-year-old apprentice, Jacob Swedlin, in teddy bear making. Well, Jacob took over when Adolf retired, and he kept the Gund name for the company. His daughter Rita is head of design now, and along with her husband and other family members, maintain Gund as one of the finest manufacturers in the world in a very competitive business. Notice the Gund sign on the carousel. Well, when you talk about teddy bears, you have to mention Steiff. Steiff. The name tells it all. Richard talked his Aunt Margaret into making the first Steiff teddy bear back in 1903. Original Steiffs are treasured. Brownie says one was sold for around $87,000 in a London, England auction. Of the Steiff bears here, Alfonso is my favorite. Alfonso is a Russian red teddy bear, pet of Russian Princess Xenia, who became stranded in England in World War I. The original Alfonso sold for $20,000. Alfonso now has 5,000 brothers. Well, these three bears tell the museum story, don't they? On the left, a replica of the Ideal Toy Company's teddy bear. The original is in the Smithsonian. On the right, a Steiff. And then the original teddy bear, a gift to a caring grandmother who started the museum, Francis Pugh Hayes. Her way of giving the world a bear hug. Thank you, Mrs. Hayes.